Hello, wonderful. This is Sarah, and I want to talk about how long it takes to heal from a toxic relationship. And I'm going to make a really bold statement. Okay? A very bold statement. Because I remember being so frustrated because I would hear things like, oh, your scars last forever. You'll never be the same. It takes years of this, and just kind of have grace and kindness with yourself because it takes so long. And I do want you to have grace and kindness with yourself. But I want you to solve the right problem. The first thing that makes me so mad, I can barely stand it, is toxic people. How manipulating they are, how destructive they are in people's lives, how much damage they can do. Toxic people tick me off, right? I know you're probably with me on this. But the second thing that frustrates me so much is the lack of clarity in the healing journey. And I talk to all these people. It's like, what's your healing strategy? What's your healing strategy? And I want to say something very specific. So if I said you needed to be better at school, okay, so that's the strategy is we're going to be better at school. And I said, okay, what specifically do you need to be better at school? What do you need to do to be better at school? And you said reading. Okay, reading is incredibly broad. Do you not know your letters? Can you not sound out words? Do you have trouble reading out loud? Do you have trouble with reading comprehension? Do you have dyslexia? Okay, those are just 5 really different problems to solve when it comes to reading. And if you have dyslexia and your strategy is trying to read out loud, it's going to be ineffective. If you're really good at reading out loud, but you're not good at reading comprehension, those have 2 different strategies to work on. And substituting and it getting blurry is never going to work. You're never going to learn how to read if you keep solving the wrong problems. I see recently there was one lady. I said, what problem are you trying to solve? Which you will hear me say 1,000 times. What problem are you trying to solve? Well, I'm really insecure dating. Great, you've had a toxic relationship. You're not secure about dating. So what have you done to solve this problem? Well, I've been working with someone. Awesome. Is the person that you're working with a dating specialist? No, they're actually a minister. Okay, so you want to work on dating. Then you have a male minister who's been married for however many years, okay, who's never dated, never been a woman, and never been in a toxic relationship. Okay, bad strategy. Okay, it's like the reading thing. It just gets blurry. So yes, she thinks it takes forever to heal. Of course she does. She may have not be able to read out loud, and she's trying to learn reading comprehension. It's not going to work, okay? There was another lady I talked to. What problem are you trying to solve? Well, I want to know who I am and have better boundaries and what is it? Oh, see red flags. Okay, and see red flags, better boundaries, know who I am. Awesome. What are you doing to solve this problem? Oh, I've been working with somebody. Awesome. What does that person specialize in? Grief counseling for people whose children have died. Have you had a child die? No. Why are you in grief counseling with someone who doesn't do any of the things that you want to fix and work on? I said, how long have you been seeing this person? 20 years, she told me. 20 years. Okay? That is a long time to waste. No wonder she thinks healing takes forever. No wonder she thinks it's impossible to heal. No wonder she feels disempowered. No wonder she feels like the toxic person has ruined her life. No wonder. She's not dumb. I know I'm passionate about this because I'm really passionate about it. But there's no piece that I think, well, she's dumb or she's stupid. I'm saying there needs to be more conversations about strategies surrounding healing and strategies surrounding specific problems to build your life rather than just, well, I need to get better at reading. I need to heal. I need to get over the toxic person. There's 15 building blocks within that. Just like in reading. Okay? And when you start to break it down, you can really start to get some momentum and some outcomes and some movement and start to feel better and start to feel more powerful and start to feel like a person again instead of a shell of yourself. But if you have no idea what problem you're trying to solve, you have no connection between who you're trying to get to help you and their expertise in the issue, you're going to have some really delayed healing, and it's going to feel like it's taking forever, and it's going to feel like you're not getting anywhere. Okay? So what problem are you trying to solve? Can you make the problem even smaller? What specific problem are you trying to solve? And are you getting the help in that specific area rather than thinking of this as a general statement? Okay? And at the beginning of this month, I took my daughter to the doctor, and they tested her for flu, strep, and COVID. She was negative for all three. But I want you to think about the healing process in this way. Okay? There is a different treatment for flu than there is for strep. There is a different treatment for strep than there is for COVID. Now, my daughter may have a sore throat and a cough and a fever. Okay? But if I'm just saying generalized, it's she has a cough. We'll just do cough medicine. Well, if she has strep throat, she may need an antibiotic. So cough medicine isn't going to get it done. And then she gets sicker, and time passes, and she gets sicker, and she gets sicker. And in most of the areas, in areas of business, in areas of medical stuff, and in other areas, we're getting specific and solving specific problems. And I'm obviously worked up. I just got off a summit interview where I was being interviewed about this, and I'm just fired up and wanted to hop in here because I absolutely hate people saying, well, I haven't moved on 4 or 5 years. I don't care if it's 4 or 5 months. What problem are you trying to solve? What are you doing to solve the problem? And those two sentences are hardly ever connected. One time I remember somebody saying, what problem are you trying to solve? I never want to be in a toxic relationship again. And I said, what are you doing to solve that problem? She said, I've been really spending more time outside, in nature, hiking. And I said, okay, can you send me the research that shows that people who hike are less likely to end up in toxic relationships than people who don't hike? And of course she giggled, right? And I don't want to be mean on this. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to be really nice and save you years of your life. But she giggled and said, I guess that's not true. And obviously hiking is good for you. Exercise is good. Being out in nature is good. Vitamin D is good for you. I'm not saying she shouldn't hike. I'm saying that's not solving the problem she's trying to solve. She needs a strategy that matches the problem she's trying to solve if she wants to get the life she wants. So, one of my favorite, most fired up things to talk about. And I really hope that helps you guys on your journey to becoming toxic person proof.